ओके जी। बीजीएम कंपनी, अब हम लोग क्वेश्चन देखते हैं जो कि हमारा एमसीक्यू से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है ऑडिट एंड इंश्योरेंस का। तो भाई यू आर एन ऑडिट सीनियर ऑफ वाईएसटी एंड को एंड हैव वर्कड ऑन एन एक्सटर्नल ऑडिट ऑफ बीजीएम कंपनी ऑन अनलिस्टेड कंपनी सिंस योर फर्म वाज अपॉइंटेड एक्सटर्नल ऑडिट 2 years ago. BGM own a chain of 9 restaurants and is a successful company. BGM has always been subject to national hygiene regulations, especially in relation to the food preparation process. Non-compliance can result in a large fine or closure of the restaurant. ठीक है जी. The board of BGM has recently notified you that the national hygiene regulation have been updated and are now much more stringent and onerous than before. ज़्यादा खतरनाक है पहले से. With this in mind, the board has asked your firm to conduct a review of BGM compliance with hygiene regulations in order to allow the board to assess whether the appropriate processes have been implemented at each of the 9 restaurants. The review is not expected to include the provision of accounting advice or the preparation of figures in the financial statement. The work is likely to be very lucrative. Your firm has sufficient experience to undertake the above review engagement. ठीक है जी. Despite running a successful company, BGM board has been needed to remind you of some fundamental principles and you have to explain key concepts. ठीक है. तो पहला, the external audit is an exercise carried out by auditors in order to give an opinion whether the financial statement of a company are fairly presented. बिल्कुल ठीक है पहला ऑप्शन हमारा. ठीक है. एक्सटर्नल ऑडिट जो है वो एक्सटर्नल ऑडिटर्स कर रहे होते हैं जो कि इंडिपेंडेंट होते हैं कंपनी से, इंडिपेंडेंट ओपिनियन देते हैं ऑन द कंपनी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के भाई इन ऑल मटेरियल रिस्पेक्ट्स ठीक हैं भी या नहीं. अच्छा जी. Number one. Number two, the board has also struggled to differentiate between its responsibilities and those of the external auditors in circumstances such as the prevention and detection of fraud and error and compliance with regulations. अच्छा जी. Uh, which of the following statements best describe IST responsibility regarding BGM compliance with hygiene in line with ISA 250 revised consideration of laws and regulation in an audit of financial statements? So YST company should actively prevent and detect non-compliance with the regulation, and YST and company should perform specific audit procedures to identify possible non-compliance. और ये सेकंड वाला यानी कि बी इज आवर आंसर, क्योंकि आइजा 250 रिवाइज कहता है कि रेगुलेशंस जो हैं और उनका डायरेक्ट अफेक्ट होता है फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स पे, और डायरेक्ट बट उनका मटेरियल इफेक्ट भी हो सकता है. हाइजीन रेगुलेशंस जो है वो डायरेक्ट अफेक्ट होते हैं. मटेरियल इफेक्ट एक्सटर्नल ऑडिटर 4 kg परफॉर्म करें, आइडेंटिफाई करें नॉन कंप्लायंस को जिनका मटेरियल इफेक्ट होगा फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, जो भी ब्रीचेस होंगे रेस्टोरेंट क्लोजर वगैरह की तरफ जा सकते हैं. The partner responsible for the review hygiene compliance has informed you the engagement is an insurance engagement. So, which of the following would not have been relevant to the partner forming this opinion? Existence of three-party relationship, नहीं. Existence of suitable criteria, नहीं. Determination of materiality जो है वो relevant नहीं होगा यहाँ पे. ठीक है. क्योंकि क्योंकि रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट जो है वो एग्जांपल है अश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट की, जिसके 5 एलिमेंट्स होते हैं. कौन कौन से अगर याद करें तो क्राइटेरिया, रिपोर्ट, एविडेंस, सब्जेक्ट मैटर और थ्री पार्टी रिलेशनशिप, जिसको प्यार से आप लोग रिस्ट भी बोलते हो. अच्छा जी. पार्टनर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट एंड आस्क यू टू टेल हिम व्हाट लेवल ऑफ एश्योरेंस यू बिलीव आईएसटी एंड को शुड प्रोवाइड and also what type of opinion the firm should give. What is the level of assurance and type of opinion that can be provided on this review engagement? तो रीजनेबल पॉजिटिव नहीं, रीजनेबल नेगेटिव नहीं, लिमिटेड पॉजिटिव नहीं, लिमिटेड और नेगेटिव आएगा लास्ट ऑप्शन. क्योंकि रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट जो है सच एज रिव्यू ऑफ कंप्लायंस हाइजीन रेगुलेशन जो है वो एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट में आती है, पर्टिकुलर कैरी आउट करते हैं जी. और जो प्रोसीजर्स हैं वो लिमिटेड है. प्रैक्टिशनर जो है वो गेन करता है इनफ एविडेंस टू प्रोवाइड नेगेटिव एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ ओपिनियन. इसका मतलब है कि जी प्रैक्टिशनर जो है एश्योरेंस देगा कि कुछ उसके अटेंशन में नहीं आया है जो इंडिकेट करे कि जी इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स में जो है वो कोई खराबी है. अच्छा जी. आखिरी इस पार्ट का, इस सिनेरियो का, द ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर As told you, the independence threats arising from YST and co-performing the review engagement should not be monitored carefully. Which of the following is likely to cause the audit engagement partner most concern? According to the ACCA Code of Ethics and Conduct, YST and co is prohibited from providing other assurance services to an audit client. अच्छा जी, he the review engagement is likely to give rise a self-review threat as the outcome of the review could form the basis of the financial statement which the audit team will audit. Uh, अच्छा जी. The lucrative nature of engagement may make the external audit team less inclined, अच्छा जी, less inclined to require management to make adjustments or to issue a modified audit opinion for a fear of losing the review engagement. Uh, थर्ड ऑप्शन यानी कि सी हमारा आंसर हो जाएगा. फीस जो है रिव्यू एंगेजमेंट की वो लाइकली टू बी ल्यूक्रेटिव है, यानी कि रिस्क है कि वाईएसटी है वो जो है वो एडजस्टमेंट्स वगैरह नहीं किएगा इस उससे कि जी क्लाइंट जो है वो अपसेट ना हो जाए और फ्यूचर में जी वो हमें हटा दें ऑल दैट इस वक्त के वजह से. फिर the following scenario relates to question 6 to 10. ठीक है. Connoy designs and manufacture luxury motor vehicles. It is not a listed company, but its board has recently decided that it would like to improve its corporate governance in order to apply a best practice. Connoy shares are held equally by six shareholders, four of whom are also executive directors. The remaining two shareholders are not involved with Connoy other than as shareholders. Connoy has an internal audit department. ठीक है, which is managed by Adrian Muse, the chief internal auditor. Adrian frequently comments that Kanoi board does not understand his reports and does not provide sufficient support for his department and for the company's internal control system. RWG and Co. Kanoi external auditors have also expressed concern in this area. Adrian has submitted a proposal to the board to establish an audit committee, and this is currently under consideration. The proposed membership of the audit committee is Adrian, Chief Internal Auditor; Penny Dinty, existing Executive Director with some financial expertise; Sharon Hader, proposed new non-executive director; Frederick Rowe, proposed new non-executive director. The board is also considering a significant expansion of the company. However, the company's bank is concerned by the standard of financial reporting as Kanoi finance director recently left the company. The board is delaying providing the bank with financial information until a new finance director has been appointed. As part of this commitment to effectiveness of the external audit process, the chair of ANOI Audit Committee, Leslie Sikiv, is keen ensure that external audit make use of the latest auditing techniques. She has heard about data analytics routines, but is unsure exactly what they entail. ठीक है जी. Kanoi Internal Control Department is currently not well understood or supported by the board. Which two of the following describe the main advantages of establishing an audit committee? Okay, the position of the internal audit department will be strengthened within the organization. ठीक. अच्छा जी. Corporate governance will be enhanced as the board of directors will establish. नहीं. Effectiveness of internal audit department will be improved as the audit committee will monitor and review its performance on a regular basis. ठीक. अच्छा जी. The workload of the internal audit department will be better. नहीं है, अच्छा दो ही चाहिए थे. Once established, the audit committee will have many objectives. Which of the following does not form part of an audit committee objective? इसमें से कौन सा नहीं है? अच्छा जी. Safeguarding the privacy of ये तो है. Appointing the external auditor ये इनका ऑब्जेक्टिव में नहीं आता, ऑल्दो गाइड वगैरह जरूर कर देते हैं, लेकिन ये इनके ऑब्जेक्टिव में नहीं होता. फिर इन रिलेशन टू द प्रपोज मेंबरशिप ऑफ द ऑडिट कमेटी, state whether each proposed member should be included or not. Arine Muse, नहीं. Penny Dinty, नहीं. Sharon Hader कर लो. फेडरिक रूए कर लो. ऑडिट कमेटी का जी मॉनिटरिंग रोल है और देयरफॉर कंप्राइज एटलीस्ट 3 इंडिपेंडेंट होने चाहिए नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर ऑफ whom should have relevant financial expertise. Adrian Muse जो है वो चीफ इंटरनल ऑडिटर है और should not be part of audit committee because he manages the team that will report to the audit committee. While Penny Dinty जो है उसकी कुछ फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्टीज है, और वो ऑलरेडी एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर है और शुड नॉट बी मेंबर ऑफ ऑडिट कमेटी एज वेल, इसलिए आगे जाएंगे. Which of the following statement best describe why having an audit committee could help Kanoi raise additional finance by addressing the concern of the bank? Uh, the independent non-executive member of the audit committee can provide guarantees to the bank concerning Kanoi financial viability. Nay, the audit committee will have at least one member who has relevant financial experience. This person will be able to stand in Kanoi's finance debt before a new night. The audit committee will have at least one member who has a relevant financial experience so that they can monitor the integrity of the financial statement. ये ठीक है कि कनॉय कंपनी के पास फाइनेंस डायरेक्टर होगा जो कि ठीक है, जिसके पास एटलीस्ट जो कि मॉनिटर करेगा इंटीग्रिटी ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. रिसेंटली जो है फाइनेंस डायरेक्टर चला गया है और उसको रिप्लेस नहीं किया है, तो इस वक्त इनके पास कोई और एक्सपर्ट भी नहीं है फाइनेंस का. तो ऑडिट कमेटी जो है वो एटलीस्ट उसके पास एक मेंबर लाजमी होना चाहिए ताकि वो इंटीग्रिटी मॉनिटर कर सके फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. ठीक है, ध्यान वो उसने आपके साथ खेला. ऊपर वाले में देखो उसने कहा कि जी इसलिए कि जी फाइनेंस डायरेक्टर चला गया, दूसरे में कह रहे इंटीग्रिटी ऑब्जर्व करने के लिए, और यही असल था. The following statement concern use of data analytics routines in the true indicate whether each statement is false. अच्छा जी. तो key drawback of data analytics software is that it is difficult to tailor to each particular audit client. बिल्कुल false. ठीक है. Data analytics routines enable auditor to examine complex data using simple visualization techniques. बिल्कुल ठीक. अच्छा जी. Although powerful data analytics routine must be applied to strictly limited quantitative data so as to extrapolate correctly from a sample. False. अच्छा जी. So far so good. I hope यहाँ तक आप लोगों को clear है. Okay. The following scenario relates to questions 11 to 15. You are an audit manager of Ali and Quen and have just been assigned the audit of stock company stock. A listed company provides investment advice to individual and is regulated by the relevant financial conduct authority. Mr. Day, partner in Alico, has been the audit engagement partner for stock for the previous 9 years and has excellent knowledge of the client. Mr. Day has informed you that he would like his daughter Zoo to be part of the audit team. His this year, Zoo is currently studying for her first set of exams for her ACCA qualification. Okay. In an initial meeting with the finance director of stock, you learn that the audit team will not be entertained on stock yard this year. Instead, he has arranged a balloon flight costing less than one tenth of the expense of using the yacht and hope this will be acceptable. ठीक है. Ali and Co has an always carried out tax advisory work for stock. The tax advisory services do not have an impact on the figures reported in the financial statement. The finance director stated that he feels strongly that the firm that offers taxation services this year should change a fee which is based on percentage of tax saved. He also trusts that your firm will accept a fixed fee for representing stock in a dispute regarding the amount of sales tax payable to the taxation authorities. अच्छा जी. From a review of the information above, your audit assistant has highlighted some of the potential risks to independence in respect of the audit of star. अच्छा जी. Mr. Day would like his daughter Zoo to be part of the audit team. नहीं, audit team to be offered a balloon flight. Tax fee to be based on a percentage of tax saved. ठीक है. Firm to represent stock in dispute with the tax authorities. Each of the following option best identifies the valid threats to independence and allocates the threat to most appropriate category. अच्छा जी. 3 and 4, 3, 1 and 2 नहीं. 4 एडवोकेसी इंटिमिकेशन सही है. 2 and 3 सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट. सेकंड ऑप्शन आ जाएगा. In relation to auditing briefing offered a balloon ride, which of the following actions would be taken to ensure the firm complies with ACCA Code of Ethics and Conduct? The gift may be accepted as stock has taken a appropriate measure to reduce the value of the gift compared to previous name. The value of the gift should be assessed to determine whether it is of material value to the financial statement. Name. The gift should only be accepted if its value is trivial and inconsequential to the recipients. Third, अच्छा जी. In relation to the audit engagement partner holding the role for 9 years, which of the following safeguards should be implemented in order to comply with the ACCA's Code of Ethics and Conduct? अच्छा जी. Fair and independent review by a partner should be appointed to the audit. Uh, Audit engagement partner should be removed from the audit team, but may serve as a quality control reviewer. Nine. Alien को should not uh, audit staff for 5 year period. नहीं. Audit engagement partner should be removed from the audit team. ये ठीक है. ठीक है. स्टाफ जो है पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट एंटिटी है. यहाँ पे एंगेजमेंट पार्टनर जो है वो ऑडिट टीम में रहेगा फॉर मैक्सिमम ऑफ 7 years बिफोर बीइंग रिटेटेड. ठीक है. और फिर वो 2 साल से पहले नहीं वापस सेम क्लाइंट पे आ सकता. तो सही ऑप्शन यही है कि जी उसको रिमूव कर दिया जाए. अच्छा जी, आगे चलें. Mr. De Daughter Zhu is currently learning about international standards on auditing ISAs. In her studies, she has asked you for clarification of the following, which is the correct order of the following stages involved in the development of an ISA. Uh, Distribution of exposure draft for public comment, ठीक है. Consideration of comments received from the public, नहीं. Approval by IAASB members. Establishing of a task force to development draft standard. Discussion of proposed standard at a public meeting. So 4, 5, 1, 2, 3 यानी कि सी. ये थर्ड ऑप्शन सी आंसर आ जाएगा. चलें जी, आगे बढ़ें. Zoe is also concerned that alien को might breach confidentiality where the audit firm to represent Stark in its dispute with the tax authorities. Which of the following statement best reflects the auditor's audit duty of confidentiality? अच्छा. Uh, Auditor must never under any circumstance discuss a matter of which they become aware during the course of audit without the permission of the client. Nine. Auditors may disclose any matters in relation to criminal to the police or taxation authorities if requested to do so. The police or a tax inspector. Nine. Auditor may disclose matters to third parties without their client consent if it is a public interest, and they must do so if there is a statutory to do so. सो एक और हो गया जी. आगे चलते हैं अगले सिनेरियो की तरफ. Tangerine Tech Company. You are an audit manager of Satsuma and Co. and have been assigned to the audit of Tangerine Tech Co., a company which is planning to list on a stock exchange within 6 months. The listing rules of the stock exchange require compliance with corporate governance principles, and the directors are unsure whether they are following best practice in relation to this. They have asked the audit engagement partner for the review on this matter. Tangerine board is compared to 6 executive directors and non-executive directors, 3 other non-executive directors. The chairman and the NED are former director of Tangerine and non-reaching requirement. Age we are asked to take a non-executive role. Acha ji. The company has established an audit committee and all NED's members, including the chairman who chairs the committee. All 4 members of the committee were previously involved in the sales or production related roles. Acha. All of the directors have been members of the board for at least 4 years. As the chairman does not have an executive role, he also sole responsibility liaising with the shareholders and answering their question. The company has not established an internal audit function to monitor internal controls. वाह, बहुत चीजें मिल गई हैं. So which of the following features are corporate governance weakness which Tangerine Co would need to address prior to their listing? तो the chairman has sole responsibility for liaising with shareholders, ठीक है. The company has not established internal audit function. The company and one of the entities are former executives on Tangerine को 1 and 3 आएगा. काय ये second, ठीक है. The audit engagement partner review has identified the following additional corporate governance weaknesses. All the director has been member of the board for at least 4 years. The board is comprised of 6 executives and 4 non-executive directors. Which of the following would be the audit engagement partner recommend to address these weaknesses to ensure compliance with corporate governance principles? Directors should be subject to annual re-election. अच्छा जी. At least 50% of the board, excluding the chair, must be comprised of non-executive whom the board. ठीक है. डायरेक्टर नहीं मतलब directors must be reappointed annually by the chairman. At least 75 of the board must be comprised of executive direct. नहीं. Directors should be subject to annual re-election. At least 75 of the board member must be. नहीं. Directors must be reappointed annually and annually by chairman. At least have 50% of the board, excluding the chair, must be comprised of non-executive directors whom the board considers to be independent. So ये लास्ट ऑप्शन हमारा बिल्कुल ठीक है. डायरेक्टर्स को जो है वो एनुअली री इलेक्शन के लिए पेश होना चाहिए और वो इलेक्ट होंगे शेयर होल्डर से, नॉट बाय द चेयरमैन. अच्छा जी. दे शुड बी एन. अच्छा जी. दे शुड बी एन अप्रोप्रिएट बैलेंस ऑफ नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव एंड टू इंश्योर के बोर्ड जो है वो करेक्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव डिसीजंस लगाए. एटलीस्ट हाफ ऑफ द बोर्ड एक्सक्लूडिंग द चेयर जो है वो कंप्राइज ऑफ एनईडीज यानी कि इंक्लूडिंग एनईडीज जो है बोर्ड कंसीडर करेगा इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर्स को. अच्छा जी. आगे चले. The auditing engaged partner has assessed the makeup of the audit committee. Which of the following would be valid conclusion from this assessment? It is acceptable for the chairman to chair the audit committee. A new member of the audit committee with relevant financial experience must be recruited. तो टू ओनली हमारा यहाँ पे आंसर होगा क्योंकि ऑडिट कमेटी जो है सपोज क्या है कि जी वो सपोज होती है कि यानी कि सपोज ऑफ के इंडिपेंडेंट एनईडीज होंगे. चेयरमैन जो है वो मेंबर नहीं होता ऑडिट कमेटी का इसमें. बाकी जो सारे मेंबर्स है ऑडिट कमेटी को प्रीवियसली सेल्स और प्रोडक्शन में रह चुके हैं. तो एटलीस्ट एक मेंबर जो है उसके पास जो है फाइनेंशियल एक्सपीरियंस भी होना चाहिए. आगे चले जी. The directors are aware that in accordance with corporate governance provisions, they have responsibilities for internal control, but are unclear as to the extent of these responsibilities. Which of the following currently describe their responsibilities to review internal controls and to review on internal controls to shareholders? No, no, नहीं. Yes, no, नहीं. No, yes, नहीं. Yes और yes आएगा दोनों तरफ. डायरेक्टर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल होते हैं कि वो इम्प्लीमेंट करें, मॉनिटर करें कंपनी के सिस्टम, इंटरनल कंट्रोल्स के एनुअल असेसमेंट करें, इंटरनल कंट्रोल की कंक्लूड करें, बोर्ड के पास कंसीडर करें कि सारे असाइनमेंट जो है इंटरनल कंट्रोल के. ठीक है. फाइनली द बोर्ड ऑफ द Tangerine is considering establishing an internal audit function. Which of the following factors would be relevant in making this decision? uh, it would help the audit committee to discharge its responsibility for monitoring internal controls. सही है. The board would no longer need to take responsibility for the prevention and detection of fraud and error. The cost of establishing an internal audit function should be considered against the benefits gained. So 1 and 3 आ रहेगा. So far so good जी. आप यहीं तक रखते हैं.